I said 2 months ago that Anthony Weiner in New York, Uma Abedin's husband, the former congressman that was working for Hillary, I said that he's under investigation for child porn. Okay, and then now it came out yesterday that they're looking at indicting him for child porn. Well, I had that from the NYPD.
That came out yesterday?
Yes.
Wow. What did he do? He had something on his computer?
Well, now they won't tell us, but I was told that tied into that whole Pizzagate thing, which, again, the media misrepresented what we said and did. It came out in all those WikiLeaks, all these weird codes, okay?
Like there was a bunch of weird codes about pizza and about a piece of pizza.
President Obama wants $5,000 in hot dogs delivered. And they're like, are these really good hot dogs? The hot dogs weren't as good last time. Well, these are succulent hot dogs. Okay, so that's not about kids. That's
How
code word
retarded do you have to be?
Well, what is that about?
It's male prostitutes. I mean, that's what the code means.
Really?
Yeah, okay, yes.
How do they get male prostitutes to keep their fucking mouth shut?
Well, because, bad things happen if you don't.
Federal child porn charges possible for Anthony Weiner.
But I'm on record months ago saying that that's the case because I had those sources. And so the government, good elements of the government know what's really going on. So the media then misrepresented and said, oh, look at 4chan. They're talking about a thing called Pizzagate in some pizza place in D.C. Then the media looks at it and says, oh, Alex Jones is claiming all this bad stuff's happening at this pizza place. I'm like, what is this? So they divert to some probably innocent pizza place to distract off of all the emails that the New York police have and the FBI have that's just this monstrous reported pedophile network. So to discredit that, they go create a fake story hoping we jump on it to then divert over to that story. And then once we're on that, it diverts everybody off from Anthony Weiner.
What?
Which then leads reportedly to a larger network.
So they're playing that far ahead. So they're literally attacking a pizza place with fake stories just so that people can focus on that and take attention off Anthony Weiner.
Yes, because it was connected to that story. It was connected to
Podesta,
to stuff in D.C. and New York, and all this other crazy stuff. So I'm not saying
because we're making a lot of long sentences here and a lot of long statements.
So here's what I'm saying.
But let's for a lot of people that are what the fuck is Pizzagate? There was this Ben Swan guy who did this recent piece about it, and a lot of people got very angry. Did you see the piece?
Yes.
Did you see the piece that he did? It seemed to me to be pretty measured, and he was making some connections between that symbol for child pedophilia,
yes,
and or just pedophilia, right? And the logo for the pizza place. He also did he make the Hastert connection with Podesta?
Well, I mean, Hastert.
Confirmed child molester
and best buddies with Podesta
and former Speaker of the House.
And then you expand on that,
right? But let's just do it step at a time because this is really kind of important stuff. So that's all 100% true, right? So it's true that Hastert's in jail. It's true that Hastert is a known pedophile that a judge called a serial pedophile, right?
Yes,
that's true. It's 100%. It's true that Podesta was friends with Hastert. That's 100%, right?
Yes.
And then all this other stuff now becomes odd. Doesn't it become odd? But if you say it's odd, if you look at it, this Ben Swan guy with this, what I thought was, he was just kind of expressing what is weird about this case. And when he did it, he got so much shit over it. I was kind of shocked. People were calling him a moron. And
well, listen, I got the same thing, but that's what I'm saying. They build a straw man. So imagine thousands of emails come out with them talking about, we'll have the kids ready 6, 7, and 8 in the hot tub at this time, and they're. I
didn't see anything like that.
Oh, it gets really crazy.
Where did it say that?
It was in the emails. There's freaking thousands of them.
But it said we'll get the kids in the hot tub.
Yes.
I never saw that. Can you see if you could find that, Jamie? That seems like it's just the whole thing is so bizarre.
It's like we're going to have the kids delivered for entertainment. They'll be in the hot tub. Now, these are great kids, but kids can be kids.
Well, you know what's fucked up about it is how few people really mention that connection to Hastert. I would have thought that would be a huge, constantly.
Well, Joe, I love the fact that, and I'm not kissing your ass, it's true, that you're very astute. I just bring up this whole big topic of how they twist things. You go right to the key points that, okay,
but that's a big
we have
one.
Barney Frank, who got caught running a underage male prostitute ring in the 90s out of his 3-story townhouse.
See, I thought it was just a male prostitute thing. I didn't know they were
somewhere
underage.
Somewhere underage. And then, but listen,
because I was with him all up to age 19 plus or whatever.
Sure, but then what happened is he goes on C-SPAN on the House floor and says, if you continue to investigate this, I'm going to expose half of you that are involved in this room, and the investigation got shut down. So the reason this is important is, for shadow government, you need something so bad that everybody who's involved in it ever comes out will be destroyed, so that binds them all to the secrecy.
So that's where child pornography comes in, and that's where pedophilia comes in.
That's where you get so many of the elite being into it. But just as you said, you have the Republican establishment trying to get Hastert out of nowhere as a wrestling coach to run for office. Then reportedly he's the procurer, just like Penn State. And just like they had the
Sandusky.
Sandusky and the underage, kids that they were, quote, mentoring, getting farmed out to supposedly big donors.
What's crazy is we're talking about two very specific cases, right? Two very different cases. But what's crazy is they're both real. It's both real. 100% Sandusky, who was a very respected man in the community, did a lot of charity work with young, disenfranchised children, and was molesting them at the same time, and was super respected in the community. And he was the right-hand man to Joe Paterno. So that whole thing just fell apart.
And the headquarters from our research of the pedophilia is like Pennsylvania.
Right.
You see, what about the Franklin cover-up?
And that's up in...
Hold on. What does this see, Jamie? It says, we plan to heat the pool so possibly Bonnie will be Uber service to transport Ruby Emerson and Maeve Luzado, 11-9 and almost 7. So you'll have some further entertainment, and they will be in that pool for sure. What in the fuck?
That's only one of them. And
that's a real confirmed email, right?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
But listen, here's the problem. So I have NYPD telling me before the election, like a month before, yes, we're investigating Weiner, child porn photos.
Go back to that, please. I want to see
not just of kids out on the internet, but kids he's communicating with, and their parents are basically letting them communicate with him. So I'm told this by NYPD detectives. I mean, the Secret Service gave me information about how Hillary was collapsing all the time. Remember, we reported that, and then it got caught on tape. So all this stuff goes on and on and on. And so I'm not saying half the people or 90% of them, are guilty or innocent in all this. All I know is we start covering it, start asking questions. They then divert off into somebody on a 4chan forum pointing out there was some email about a meeting at some pizza place in D.C. where top Democrats go. They then turn the whole thing into I'm blaming some pizza place. I'm sending shooters in to shoot people at a pizza place. Make up all this crazy-ass crap when I never even said any of that. And then you go back to me 3 months ago, I said the police have told me they're investigating Weiner for pedophilia and child porn. When it was not in the news, now notice it's in the news. What I'm saying is, I got this from police.
Slow down before we get away from this, because I got to go back to that. There was a quote up there that Jamie pulled up that I wanted to read. The one on the lower bottom about this. Now, these are the emails that you were talking about, and these are 100% confirmed emails. Go back to that one that was on the bottom. Scroll down to the one
I'm not
that was
saying
down
any
low.
of these people are guilty.
Yeah, what is that?
I'm
that's
saying
highlighted?
This is the controversy.
Okay, hold on a second here. So 6 grown-ups with 2 toddlers and 2 infants spread throughout the house, and sure enough, one of the toddlers was rubbing my nose at 5:45. What the fuck does that mean?
The FBI has a whole
Parents
blueprint.
got back to retrieve the children. They threw in the towel. And what? I don't know, man. This is I don't know what the fuck those emails mean. But let's just now. I mean, everybody wants to immediately shoo this away as disgusting.
But then
hold
in
on
the
a second.
middle of it,
Impossible. We're talking about 2 very specific proven cases,
yes.
right? Hastert, proven. Sandusky, proven. Real, huge, elite, powerful people that were also active pedophiles, right?
Yes.
So that's a fact.
Who know each other and are buddies. And then you've got Podesta's brother, who's big in Washington, in an article in 2007 in the Washington Post. I'm going to try to give you the exact headline, which was something like radical art or something. And it's like naked photos of the neighborhood kids in their house, and then they're showing it, throwing it in your face. It's just crazy, but that's not even stuff I get into.
But there is something to that, because some of his artwork was super disturbing that he had in his house, like little
it turns
kids
out
with
you
their
know all about this.
pink butts.
Yeah.
They were in their underwear, and it looked like they had been paddled.
Yes.
And they were all standing there with their butts facing.
See,
it's
as usual,
very bizarre.
Joe knows more about this than I do. See, and that's all I do is cover these real things. So let me give you the new news.
But that is real.
The government got pissed off about this. The pedophile rings have gotten so big that the intelligence agencies began to leak all this info. And they knew Hillary was planning to steal the election. She did steal 5 states, according to the experts and proof we have.
How did she do that? What do you mean? But let's
they
not
tried to break into 6 states.
Let's not go on these long rants where there's a bunch of different statements that need to be addressed.
Sure.
So let's just, from right there, you got to get to that. Like, how did she steal 5 states? You can't kind of gloss over that.
Okay, no, she tried to.
How did she do
tried
that?
to steal 6 states. She did steal 5 states. Well, Bev Harris, who's a big liberal, big Democrat, had the HBO documentary Hacking Democracy.
Right.
She's the leading expert. She was actually, a month before the election, through whistleblowers, got the actual code that had been loaded on machines all across the country. You should have her in studio to steal the elections.
I saw Hacking Democracy, and I saw that they did engineer those voting machines so that you could have a third-party input and change it. And they did it live on the show.
And that was a decade ago with Bush. This is new.
Okay.
So she's the top election fraud expert. So she comes on my show. The story's on Infowars.com. And she says, we've got evidence. And then I had the hacking experts on, and I had the industry whistleblowers on, and I had the county officials on at every level. We have the fraud proven that Democrat-connected groups were already loading code onto machines all over the country, but it's different companies, but about, I think it was 18% of the machines in the country, to be able to remotely break in and flip votes. So, because they were aware of that, a bunch of states were waiting and watching, and Homeland Security broke in live into 6 states and kept trying to flip the results, and they even have screenshots and videos of them in the computers, in there clicking and doing it all. There's major investigations going on. You hear the news going, Trump's crazy. He claims illegals voted, to make it about illegals. That was one statement in a larger election fraud deal of actual computers. So Trump knows about all this. So she comes on and says they're planning this fraud. Then she comes on after the election and she says, yes, it's clear. Here's where precincts closed. Here's where all this happened, where 100% went for Hillary, or right after it closed, all the votes that then came in were 100% for Hillary. They didn't even care. But the landslide was so big for Trump, they couldn't steal it. She successfully stole 5 states. She tried to break into 6 others, or her controllers did, and got blocked. The tsunami for Trump was so huge, with the real polling we can break down later, that they still weren't able to steal it. And now patriots inside U.S. intelligence agencies are preparing to roll up the pedophile networks nationwide. That's why you've seen arrests in Pennsylvania, arrests in L.A.
I haven't seen these arrests. Who's getting arrested?
It's just now breaking, and it's big institutionalized.
474 arrests, 28 sexually exploited children rescued during statewide human traffic operation.
They're getting down now.
Holy shit.
There's a takeover, right?
Holy shit, but look at the numbers there. 474 people arrested.
But they're only rolling up the Renfields that get the people for the psychic vampires. You understand?
But how insane is it that this is still happening, right? So all the people that thought that this idea that, whether they tried to make it ridiculous by calling it Pizzagate or connecting it to a pizza place, everybody that thought that was ridiculous, it is not ridiculous that there could potentially be some sort of a pedophile ring.
And see how they trick us,
It's not
though.
ridiculous.
See how they trick us. They go pick some pizza place, probably have their people go on, make comments on some message board. CNN, New York Times, Washington Post, the same day come out and say, all the emails are discredited from New York and California and Hawaii because there's this innocent pizza place over here that some of the Democrats go to, and they're all saying that's where the pedophiles are at. Okay, so then the internet all goes and looks at that and starts trying to disprove MSM that, there must be something going on there. So then that turns that all into the big quagmire as a smokescreen from all the admitted stuff that's happening. Because again, I was told by my NYPD high-level sources that they've got all this stuff on Weiner's computer that just got scooped up, during the whole hacking story and the whole story about Hillary and the unsecure servers, and that was being blocked by Obama. And that as soon as Trump got in, they would go back after Weiner. Then I was told by a former section chief from the CIA that indeed this was an operation they were running against him to start leaking all this. And so what you're beginning to see is the beginning of all the pedophilia coming out as they roll up the procurers that grab your kids out of backyards or that go out as social workers and get the kids or whatever. They're rolling all those up right now to get the Renfields. Renfield brings the people to Dracula. Okay, that's the allegory. I'm not saying a real vampire.
Right, I know what you're saying.
And so they're going to now roll it up into the higher level groups right now. That's what
here's,
Trump's doing.
Here's what's going on with a lot of this stuff. You have to be real careful in how you describe these things and how you talk about these things, because people are looking for any little tiny thing to discredit it. And one of the reasons why they're looking at it, they're doing it for personal reasons, because it seems No one wants to be ridiculous. No one wants to be a fool, and no one wants to be someone who's talking about conspiracies that aren't real. So people are very hesitant to talk about something that's unproven but horrific.
Just like
this.
Just like
right?
15 years ago, it was a conspiracy theory that the Catholic Church had any pedophilia.
Right.
Now we know
Yeah. It's a fact.
30% were doing it. We now know that the old Pope had to step down, was blackmailed with info about other high-level priests by the new guy that came in. I mean, this is heavy stuff.
It's the Catholic Church stuff is absolutely horrible and proven over and over again. And again, when I was a kid, it was rumor. It was just things that were whispered. You would hear about it.
And now I always wondered how they're getting away with it. It's so out in the open. How come isn't more
They're
arrest?
psychic vampires stealing the energy from the kids.
Well, what the most common thing they do
But
is
why
they
don't they
find
get
very
thrown in jail?
The most common thing they do is
Why?
they find very troubled kids that don't talk about it. People with foster care, kids with no parents, kids who come from really troubled backgrounds.
But nobody will believe.
But you would
Kids
think
who are abused.
Just like Sandusky ran a abused children's shelter and group, and then would take the kids out, sometimes overnight at rich people's houses to make them feel better.
Yeah.
And
It's
then no
scary.
one wants to believe that the assistant coach and that all these powerful people, but when he finally got caught, he was raping 8-year-olds in the showers at noon on a Saturday at the field house.
Yeah, and someone who worked there found it, watched it happen. It walked in on them, literally, and that's what it all fell apart.
So that's
And he
what
was
always
doing it
happens.
so
These guys get
blatantly.
more and more arrogant. And so all I'm telling you is I'm not saying anybody's guilty in these thousands of emails. You go read them, and it's like, the last walnut sauce you brought wasn't very good. Oh, well, these are good walnuts. You're going to, I love walnuts. And then you go read in the FBI breakdown what that's code for.
What's code for walnut?
It means people with brown skin.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Whew. Well,
Ted Gunderson was talking about this for years. FBI chief, former.
He discovered a bunch of it in Los Angeles. He was the head of the LA sector.
So people are going to hear this and they go, "Oh, they're a bunch of Pizzagate truthers. These guys are a bunch of Pizzagate truthers." There's an inclination to automatically dismiss things like this.
Let me be clear. I'm on the air covering 50 topics a day.
Right.
These emails are coming out. I get contacted with one of my sources by people in the NYPD. I get sent documents, photos of their licensed law enforcement. I talk to these people, and they say, "Yeah, no, it's horrible. It's a bunch of pedophilia. It's a bunch of child porn. It's all going to come out. It's tied to all these different groups." And I'm just like, okay. So I go on air and I say, "Listen, I got this from real NYPD and other sources." And then Eric Prince of Blackwater, who still runs one of the biggest groups in the world.
Doesn't he run some sort of military operation in like Bahrain or something now, or Saudi Arabia or something?
Absolutely. The point is that he comes out and
UAE?
says,
Is it the UAE?
you can
One of
ask
those.
Q about it. He knows all about it. But the point is that all this happens, and he comes out in the news, okay, through the White House organ, Breitbart, okay, that's basically from Trump's mouth, and says, yes, we've confirmed high-level pedophilia rings in the Clinton operation. We're going to bring them down. And so that's what all this is.
Why did Breitbart tweet about that in 2011? Do you remember that tweet?
Breitbart knew about it.
It came out.
Breitbart said, I'm going to bring out the biggest thing that's going to bring down the Democrats, and they poisoned him right here in California.
You think they poisoned him?
No, absolutely, they killed him.
What happened? I didn't even know how he died. I thought he died of a heart attack. Is that what
Yeah.
Are you fake laughing at me? Pull up the
No, I'm
Breit-
laughing at just, no, I know you're quoting the media. I'm not
I
laughing
know.
at you.
Pull up
Don't
the
choke me
Breitbart-
out, Joe.
I won't, buddy. You know I love you.
Anyways.
Pull up the Breitbart email or the Breitbart tweet because it's a crazy
See, it turns out
tweet.
Joe knows all about this.
Well, the tweet is pretty insane. When you read it, you're like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Like, everybody, there's an instantaneous reaction that people have
Yeah,
that
because
are
they're not
intelligent.
pedophiles. Because
right,
the
people
average
that aren't
person
pedophiles.
isn't a pedophile.
Right, you're right. You're
So
right.
you tell me people are doing this to kids, you don't
Right,
believe
you're
it.
like, get the fuck out of here. That's nonsense.
Yeah,
but when you tell people about the stuff that's been proven, the ones that have
Well, here's
been
the big
proven,
news.
they don't account. They don't attach those.
I was on air saying, I'm told this by NYPD in like 3 different shows, and that it's going to come out that Weiner's sending child porn. And it's in the news today.
Well, what they're saying, what they're accusing Weiner of, apparently, is sending sexually explicit texts to an underage girl. That's what's against the law. So they're calling it child porn, but it's essentially he was sending pornographic text to a 15-year-old.
Yeah, well, I was told it's a lot more than that. What they're
Maybe
doing,
it is. This is just what
what
was
they're
in the
doing is
paper today.
minimizing it because the higher-ups are being told, you don't let this out. Let me tell you, Weiner supposedly had tens of thousands of emails.
Weiner should be a fucking comedian, for sure. He's a freak. He's got real problems. He's a good communicator. I bet he's hilarious. Come on, don't you think?
All I know is I'm not saying even Weiner's a pedophile. All I know is, listen, we all know about Jerry Epstein, okay? And that
I don't know about Jerry Epstein.
That was the Lolita Express. Just Google that. And
what is that?
Bill Clinton was like on 20 flights. First it was 7.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
To
now
this
I know
pedophile
who you're
island
talking
that has
about.
a temple in it. And then he was also flying to this Middle Eastern country with this sheik that's an admitted pedophile with multi-million-dollar checks and Bill Clinton on the plane. And Bill Clinton's a known sexual predator. Okay, so all this stuff's going on, and so they start bringing up lawsuits against Donald Trump with Jane Doe's claiming he'd been with Epstein, even though there's no proof in the law, because they make you log even on private jets. None of it was ever true. He'd been at a
Here
few.
it is. How progressive guru John Podesta is in household name as world-class underage sex slave op, cover-upper, defending unspeakable dregs escapes me. Early on, did John Podesta imagine his baby MMFA, I don't know what that is, would be covering up for underage sex ops and hate crimes against blacks? Huh. I don't know what that means. What is MMFA, young Jamie? Media Matters.
Isn't that Soros?
Yeah, that's Soros. But also, guess who owns the pizza place?
Who?
Where all this went on? It's Media Matters head guy David Brock's boyfriend, and that is where they have major Democratic Party fundraisers. And then they had rock bands there that gave live spoken word dissertations of the love of children.
What?
Yeah, I'm talking about guys like in goth drag talking about how much they love children.
Have you seen this?
Yeah, I don't even really want to repeat what they really pull it up. If you want.
There's a video of them saying that in
This
the
is
pizza
a
place?
This is a Comet Ping Pong. So
Why, why is, I mean, it's a very, very bizarre subject. But why is this like so what is this right here? You bringing it up, Jamie? Okay, give me some volume.
And you all are very grateful that you are below a Subway sandwich shop.
Yes!
And Jerry is known to hang out down here. He likes world sounds. Tamales.
What are we listening to?
And little boys.
And children.
I think that was his manager.
No.
We all have preferences. Anyway.
That was weird.
That's super weird.
That's
First of all,
that's like Comet Ping Pong?
right. Anybody listening, let's describe what that person looked like. They were wearing a wig, a blonde wig, and it was a guy.
Like a
Looks like a
transvestite.
worst nightmare.
A transvestite or a woman who's just smoked every cigarette. It's one of the two. But that's just the fact that was going on at that place seems really odd. But that sounds like someone ad-libbing, We all have preferences, like trying to be funny. Like it's almost like a
No, but
comedian.
it's the guys in the crowd
Right.
saying it, and it's
little boys.
It's more than
and
it's
little
all
boys.
the artwork that was
Right.
there.
Oh yeah, a lot of creepy artwork connected to that guy. A lot of creepy artwork. I mean, that's a fact. There's a lot of facts. So it's one of those things. Like,
But
even
I'm
if,
not
but even if
saying
you
they've
bring
done
up,
anything, and you're
Right.
not saying that.
And I'm not either. That's what's really important.
I never even really covered this stuff. And then they had me on the news and also Swan going, they said these people were killing kids in a basement. They say, okay, Megyn Kelly went on and took a clip where I was talking about Hillary funding jihadis and Obama back in the Arab Spring that killed tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people, thousands of children, and how Al-Qaeda was putting kids, which is ISIS, into sex slavery. They edited that out and then cut it together on Fox News with me saying, and Hillary Clinton rapes and kills children in a basement at Ping Pong Pizza. They literally now edit audio, but I was able to
They changed your audio?
I was able to go find the day with video with what I really said and throw it back in their face.
Wow, that's really blatant. Where's this? Can we watch this? Where is this that they did that?
Sure, I think
Do you guys have
right-wing-
the comparison of the two up?
Yeah, it's something like Megyn Kelly caught a giant lie against Alex Jones.
Try to find that. We should play that.
But
'cause
listen,
that's,
I didn't
that's
mean
so
to get in here. I
fascinating.
didn't mean to get in
First
here.
of all, Megyn Kelly's so pretty she can say whatever the fuck she wants.
I think she looks like an old tranny.
I love her. Do you think she looks like an old tranny?
Yeah.
You're hilarious.
You like
I
old
love
trannies?
you. No, I don't like old trannies, but I think she's hot. You don't like? You don't think Megyn Kelly's
No,
hot?
I just want to insult her because
She's
she's a
beautiful.
globalist.
Oh, she's globalist.
Obviously, she's pretty. Joe, she's real ugly.
Do you think that she's moved over to NBC? Do you think she's going to change her tune now and go for the liberals?
NBC wants to be the, quote, new Fox News. So they'll be the new kind of Glenn Beck. I'm a conservative, but I hate conservatives and libertarians. And I'm going to speak for everyone, and I can decode it all. So she's going to go over there and be the conservative light and try to get them some ratings.
So it seems like NBC realizes that's where the money is. Is that what you're saying? Want to see how fake news is made from Megyn Kelly on Fox News. Did you find it, Jeremy? Okay, let's play it here. Here we go. Give us some volume.
How this whole thing got started.
Pizzagate.
Grace?
Conspiracy gunmen.
Megyn, as many controversies do these days, it began with a tweet. On October 30th, days after the FBI announced they'd be reopening an investigation into Hillary Clinton's emails, someone on Twitter, whose name remains unverified but has several thousand followers, posted that new emails found on Anthony Weiner's computer confirmed that Hillary Clinton was involved in a pedophilia ring. The Twitter post included information from a Facebook user who stated, quote, "My NYPD source said it's much more vile and serious than classified material on Weiner's device. We're talking an international child enslavement and sex ring."
Hit pause for a minute.
The next day,
Okay, please, just back it up 10 seconds. Now, this is probably them, quote, trying to debunk us, but what they do is they misrepresent what we're saying. So again, whoever these rogue people were, or I don't know who they are, saying, oh, look, NYPD says it's Weiner and all this, see how they were saying none of that's happening? Now it's actually starting to come out. I don't know how far or how deep it goes, but this is when Kelly...
Well, let's let it play out then respond to it afterwards, because otherwise we're going to lose our train of thought.
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Do you know what clip it is?
From a
Is the right one?
Facebook user who stated, quote, "My NYPD source said it's much more vile and serious than classified material on Weiner's device. We're talking an international child enslavement and sex ring." The next day, the bogus claim was picked up by a website called YourNewsWire.com, message boards like 4chan and Reddit, right-wing blogs, and several pro-Trump websites. InfoWars' Alex Jones, a far-right web host, posted a YouTube video seen almost 500,000 times.
When I think about all the children Hillary Clinton has personally murdered and chopped up and raped, I have zero fear standing up against her.
The rumor spread, inspiring some newfound internet sleuths to start digging around in John Podesta's hacked emails, searching for proof and location of the so-called sex ring. What they found were numerous references to pizza.
Now here's what Alex Jones actually said.
Resistance to tyrants is obedience
The
to
message
God.
to Hillary.
It's Alex Jones.
You can run on.
When I think about all the children Hillary Clinton has personally murdered and chopped up and raped, I have zero fear standing up against her. Yeah, you heard me right. Hillary Clinton has personally murdered children.
Go tell that long-tongued liar. Go and
I just can't hold back the truth anymore.
tell the
Hillary Clinton is one of the most vicious serial killers the planet's ever seen.
Gonna cut 'em down. Tell 'em that God's gonna.
Now, there's a twist to that. Am I talking about the devil worship story with her chief of staff, her campaign chairman, looking at the menu of blood and semen and body parts at the Aleister Crowley event, the private event? Oh, no, I'm not talking about that. I mean 200,000 plus dead Christians with her operation with Syria and her operation in Libya, and not letting the Christians get out, and directing Al-Qaeda and ISIS, who target and murder children and put them through sex slavery and throw Catholic priests off cliffs and kill people in mass and murder gays and everything else you can imagine, because they don't like peaceful people. And they con everybody that they're for open society and they love everybody. Anything they do is for degradation.
And someone could have been killed inside of your restaurant for no good reason other
so
than
pretty.
people like Alex Jones fanned a conspiracy theory that even the D.C. police say has no basis in fact.
Yes, it's a pack of lies, and it's dangerous. What happens
That's the
is
top
this person
Soros
was
operative
inspired
boyfriend.
to drive across 4 state lines with an assault rifle and enter a family-friendly restaurant at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday.
I know Reddit has banned this topic on its website. I mean, slowly but surely, those who help fan it are trying to dial it back out of the safety, out of concerns for the safety of those who have been endangered by
Really, this could happen to anyone. It's not just us. It's any single person.
I know you said to our producers, it's all so surreal until the gun comes in. Wow.
And then
James,
some
thank you
guy.
for being here.
So they went, they got it. They didn't get it off YouTube. They got the full clip. They cut the front off, knowing I was actually saying, I don't know about the Satanism before the term Pizzagate was out there. But I do know she's funded the radicals. I came, I saw, they die, who do rape and kill and cut up kids. So she personally is.
You were making a very provocative statement, and you made a very provocative statement by saying something kind of crazy at first,
Yes,
and then backing it up. And so what they decided to do was just edit a chunk of that. And so they didn't really have to edit it and chop it up, but they did take it as bizarre as it seems. They take it out of context
and said that I was talking about Comet Ping Pong.
Right, well, you weren't.
And I was talking about the spirit cooking Aleister Crowley stuff where the lady is written, it's real for her, and they take little kids to these parties, and they have vats of blood. That's one thing if you were an adult wanted to do that, issue some art project. This is real. And so I was talking about the menu where they're in the email saying, we're going to have plenty of blood, plenty of semen for you, and other delicious things on the menu. And he's like, what are the juicies on the menu? And they go, well, we're going to have cheese pizza, we're going to have the nut sauce, and we're going to have the pasta, and we're going to have, succulent hot dogs. We know you love succulent hot dogs.
What the fuck?
And they go, oh God, I want to go back to that place in Hawaii that had the best hot dogs. It's like, yes, we've got hot dogs. And Obama wants $65,000 where the hot dogs delivered to the party. Will the hot dogs be there? And then it's in Stratford and CIA emails that got leaked by WikiLeaks that now people have cross-referenced where the CIA's like watching going, look at Obama in Chicago, another hot dog party.
Well, there's
and
definitely
I don't care
something.
if Obama is at a party with 15 dudes. That's his issue. The point is, though, they can blackmail him with this. And the stuff with
Do you
Obama,
think that's
we
real?
never got pedophile codes with Obama. Yeah, no, it's men. I mean, he's had his
Are
lover
you trying to say that Barack Obama is a homosexual?
saying he's bisexual.
How dare you?
I really don't even care.
Have you ever seen him with a man? How do you know this is true?
Well, I've seen him with men walking down the street.
Maybe
plenty.
he just likes to bring dudes in to have conversations with them.
Maybe he just
It's
orders.
probably hard to talk to people when you're the head of the free world.
Maybe he had a party with $65,000 worth of hot dogs.
Yeah, maybe he loves hot dogs. He's like, fuck it. Fuck this diet. I'm not the president anymore.
Yeah,
I'm chilling now.
Now listen, I want $65,000.
He's balling.
That's more than 65,000 hot dogs. What a gourmet hot dogs? What, $1 a piece? $2?
Good question.
How many? Let's say it's super gourmet. $5 a piece for each hot dog.
President needs a hot dog helping hand. What does that mean?
What if it turns out he was like the 10-time hot dog eating champion? He's like one of those
That's
dudes.
probably it.
What if that's it?
He probably okay. Let's say a hot
It
dog costs $5.
seems like he actually just really likes hot dogs here, Alex Jones. Like there's a whole article on his love for hot dogs.
$65,000 worth of hot dogs, $5 a piece, $5 per hot dog.
Right, but listen, you got to get those delivered. Someone's got to make them, got to grind it up, put it in the casing, the whole deal. Maybe he gets like gourmet hot
Somebody's
dogs.
got to put those
He
kids in the
might have
hot tub.
been putting together some giant party. Some I'm out of this job party. No,
Yeah.
I don't know. But what I'm
Listen,
saying
hot
is,
dog is a code for male prostitutes.
okay, maybe it is. But what I'm saying is, anybody who's skeptical, anybody who's looking at this and going, "You guys are so fucking crazy. This is so you're making such gigantic leaps of faith." No leaps. Just look at what the weird code in those emails. There was definitely some code.
And let me
in
tell you
those
what happened to
emails.
me, Joe. After this one, in fact, my crew actually got, I'm going to be honest with you. Let's tell everybody the truth here. We're about 5 days into this, and the news hadn't even picked it up, and all my crew is doing is all day reading thousands of emails. I mean, there's thousands that are just related to food and hot dog and kids and hot tubs and kid deliveries and the spirit cooking and Aleister Crowley and there'll be semen and blood. I told my crew, I said, it's probably true. No one's going to believe it. Stop obsessing on it and stop reading these emails because I want to focus on the election and everything else that's happening. So then sites start accusing me of covering up the Podesta stuff before it's called Pizzagate, and then I get blamed for being behind Pizzagate, and I'm not even bitching. I'm explaining what it's like to really be trying to get at the truth, and then people take the fact that it's complex. She'd be better at this than me, Joe, because you know how to put stuff out clear and parse it. I just know all this crap.
Well, you get crazy, you start ranting.
People won't listen to me because I got too much data. And you imagine what this is like? I mean, it's just, I'm sick of it. I don't know everything that's going on, but I know this. I have good CIA people and FBI and Secret Service, okay, telling me, yes, Alex, it's worse than you know. Keep getting them. It's going to come out, and it's starting to come out, and saying, watch, when we start arresting the pedophile networks, we're going to roll up the Democrats and the Republicans that are involved. And that's why Trump said in his speeches at the inaugural, this is not about parties. We're taking these people on. We're bringing God back in. Even somebody that wasn't very religious like Trump has gotten religion learning about this. Because let me tell you something, Trump's not a devil worshiper, and he loves God, and he's been briefed on all this, and he's going to roll their ass up. So the pedophiles better get ready.
you.